Welcome to FTT DeFi. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, very happy to be here. Enjoying the sun, enjoying the conference, having a good day.
Fantastic. So you're representing Chainanalysis today. So tell me a little bit about your role there and about what Chainanalysis do.
Yeah, absolutely. So Chainanalysis, we are the leading blockchain analytics firm in the cryptocurrency space. So in effect, what we can do is we can look at the blockchain and we know which addresses, which transactions belong to which services and entities. So rather than looking at the blockchain and being an indecipherable string of letters and numbers, we can say, okay, these addresses belong to a large exchange. These addresses belong to some type of payment processor, but then also we know which addresses belong to darknet marketplaces, sanctioned entities, terrorism financing, the malicious services out there. And we offer then software and data on top of that to law enforcement agencies to help them conduct investigations, and also cryptocurrency and financial institutions to help them conduct their compliance needs. In terms of myself, I've been with Chainanalysis for 4.5 years right now, so quite a long time in crypto terms. Yes. When I was initially there, I was working as an account executive, selling into the European market. Now I've shifted role slightly. I manage the mid-market team in EMEA. So what we do is we sell predominantly to the cryptocurrency space. We sell them compliance solutions, and recently, very topically, we've seen a huge influx of requests from DeFi protocols. So that's why it's really good to be here at this conference today.
Fantastic, and your tagline, I noticed, is building trust in blockchain. But as you've kind of just said from all of the issues there, that's quite hard to do. And for banks, financial institutions, looking at the space, it can be a little daunting, I suppose, because there's a number of different risks that you face when kind of developing DeFi products and solutions. So what are some of the challenges and some of the risks that they face, and how do you help financial institutions to kind of overcome that and develop securely, I suppose?
Yeah, so I mean, going back to what you said, our tagline is building trust in blockchains because we know crypto has historically been a low trust industry, and one of the main things we try and do is educate the general space about the fact that crypto is actually, for the most part, completely legitimate. One of our very famous statistics is that only 0.15% of all transactions on the blockchain are illicit. That's from our 2022 cryptocurrency crime report. Now, all that being said, of course there are risks that are present in DeFi, like with any new piece of technology. And the main ones that can be summarized in three main categories, I'd say. There's money laundering. We've seen that in the past year, about 67% of money laundering in crypto, so assets coming from criminal funds like darknets, they're laundering it through DeFi protocols. There is scams. Because it's a new space and because a lot of investors have seen the huge gains that can be made, it makes it quite susceptible to more ignorant investors to invest in projects that aren't legitimate, where they then get rug pulled, they get their funds stolen away from them. We saw an 81% increase last year in that. And then finally, and this is perhaps the most concerning type of crime, are hacks. So hacks are almost exclusively now happening on DeFi protocols. It used to be more on centralized exchanges. Now they're going on to DeFi protocols, exploiting vulnerabilities and pulling out the funds. We saw basically 97% of all hacks this year have happened in DeFi, and this is especially concerning since these hacks are predominantly conducted by groups affiliated with the North Korean government. So yes, there are risks in this space, but there are solutions out there, and that's really where Chainanalysis comes in. So we have, for example, a new product, Storyline. It's specifically built for DeFi investigations. So criminals might think they're being smart by crossing across chains and laundering their funds through these DeFi protocols. We can still trace through that very easily, and most importantly, the law enforcement that use our tools can trace very easily. On top of that, we have tools like address screening, and we have a free sanctions API that lets DeFi protocols connect and very quickly see if they are interacting with risky entities, and if they are, taking appropriate actions against them. And this is not just something that's unique to Chainanalysis. The fact of the matter is that the blockchain, due to its very nature, is one of the most fantastic tools to combat money laundering, because everything is public. So yes, there are risks in this space, but with providers like Chainanalysis, they can easily be mitigated, and I'd still always argue there is nowhere where a criminal is less safe than on the blockchain.
Interesting, so it's kind of a risk, but also a solution in a way as well. So yeah, just about, as you say, knowing which solutions you need in place as protection and a little bit of education as well, I think, perhaps overcoming some of those misconceptions. No, it's a really exciting space, and just being here, today, hearing all of the projects and the developments that are happening. But looking to the future, what do you think we're going to kind of see this space developing like over the next few years? Are you expecting change to be quite slow, or do you think there'll be a rapid acceleration in the next couple of years? What's your sort of prediction?
I mean, given the way the industry has developed this last few years, I can only imagine it being rapid.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when I joined Chainanalysis 4 and a bit years ago, tell people I work in crypto, oh, that sounds a little shady, I read a little bit about it, don't know so much. Now when you tell people you work in crypto, they have a million questions, everyone's talking about it, it's a front page story on every single newspaper. If we look at DeFi, for example, in the past, in 2020, we saw basically on the blockchain a negligible transaction value being sent across DeFi assets. Now, 1 year later, we saw $4 trillion. Take NFTs, for example. A couple of years ago, let's say 2020, who really knew about NFTs? People that were really specifically in this space working on it. Now, NFTs are all the rage. People that never had any interest in crypto are looking into NFTs. Ronaldo is partnering with Binance. He's launching something related to NFTs. It seems that people that had no interest in crypto previously are now getting more involved. And we saw it with NFTs. We saw $44 billion worth of value transfer into it. So if past indicators are anything to go by, I can only imagine that things are going to progress very, very quickly. And I think those are the trends that we are seeing in the market. And DeFi specifically, I know just a year ago, most of the businesses that would come to Chainanalysis were cryptocurrency businesses of the centralized variety, centralized exchanges, centralized wallet providers. Now it's in large part DeFi, and I think that's been a really, really encouraging development, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that in the next few years.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think that rapid acceleration makes that need for the security and trust element all the more important. So they want it to accelerate so rapidly that you kind of almost can't catch up in terms of the security. So I think makes everything that you were saying, all the more important in this space. Oh, brilliant. Well, thank you so much for sitting down to talk to us. It's been really, really interesting just to hear in a few minutes there kind of a whistle tour through what you do and some of the trends in the space. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for having me, Laura. All right.